What up? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you've never seen any of my videos. Normally I'm doing photo stuff, photo walks, I don't know. There's not a lot on the channel right now, but haven't posted in a while, so I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm doing some stuff for work and we're just editing. Kind of wanted to bring you guys along to show you what it's like. Nothing crazy. I would say it takes a medium amount of understanding of Adobe to follow along. So if you want to do that, let's jump in to what we do for work. So basically I do the video and editing for an insurance agency that deals with Medicare, life insurance, financial planning, retirement, annuity stuff, kind of a little bit of all of that. And these are a set of advertisements that we're doing for Facebook ads. Pretty sure they're being used for Google ads too, but I'm going to refer to Facebook ads for these just because I know a little bit more about them. Chris here is part of the marketing team and one of the co-owners, and we have Rose, who is our marketing specialist. They're kind of the brains and the backbone of all of the structuring of the ads. I'm more part of the scripting, ideation, writing, shooting, editing, prep of all the media that we use for ads. And if you know anything about Facebook ads or you don't, what is a good idea to do is have multiple versions of basically the same ad, or I guess the same call to action for what you want the ads to do. So for these ones, they're going to potential Medicare clients that we want to check out these resources. We have a handbook and a pre-recorded presentation. So each one of these sequences I have numbered. I don't know if you can see, but it's all of these numbered 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, numbers 3, numbers 4, numbers 5, number 6. We did 5 different versions of basically the same ad that have different intros or hooks, we call them, different backgrounds. We switched them up a little bit, and you'll see as I go through them. And I'll open up a few. They're essentially all the same ad. I'll play this first one because this is the first one we did.
Are you going on to Medicare and worried that your prescriptions aren't going to be covered? Then you're going to benefit from our Medicare 101 handbook and our pre-recorded Medicare 101 presentation. Both are going to go over parts A, B, C, and D of Medicare, your plan options this year, and some of the changes that happen to the system. So click the Learn More button below and claim your free resources today.
So that is essentially the ad. Now, I said we did different versions, so they have different backgrounds. We shot some at the beach. We're in Orange County here, so we were down in Huntington. And each one of these has a different intro or hook.
We know Medicare can be complex, so we put together a Medicare 101.
That one's complex. This one has trees in the back. This one's talking about employer plans.
If you're going on to Medicare soon and you're wrestling back and forth if you should stick with your employer plan or go on to Medicare, well, you're going to benefit from our Medicare.
So these are unedited yet, this one and this one. And you have different versions of all these things because in Facebook ads, what can happen is you get fatigue. And ad fatigue is basically that people have seen your ad over and over and over, and they're not performing well, and you're not converting at the most efficient price. So you have to look at cost per click and all that stuff. I can save a Facebook ads video for another video. Maybe I can have Chris hop on with me and kind of explain that much better than I could. It can get pretty in depth, but all pretty interesting and all what I do for work every day. So looking at these, I just finished up this version. That is, if your mailbox is gonna pop and blah, 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 and you're overwhelmed, check out these resources. Now, when you're running Facebook ads, it is also good for the ads to run more efficiently to have different formatting or ratios, I guess. Now, this is normal video, 16:9. What everyone sees on YouTube, just normal video. We do vertical, classic Instagram, TikTok, stories, Facebook Reels, all of that. And then we have a square format because Facebook will run ads on Facebook and Instagram all at the same time. And this is just a third format that is good for both of those platforms to have. And I'm going to change something very quickly here. But yeah, the edits aren't that complicated. These setups are super minimal. Very natural lighting. These are very quick for us to shoot. They don't need to be overproduced or anything like that. This one might be by far the most flattering frame that we have. And this one, admittedly, might be my least favorite frame that we have. It was almost there. I don't know, I might have exposed it weird. Maybe I need to adjust it. I also don't want to do a lot of color correcting and editing and this and that. Like, these need to come out pretty quick. So in ideation and scripting, I know that these need to be filmed as efficiently as possible to be edited and turned around as quickly as possible. So this one's probably my second favorite. It's a good background. He's lit up pretty evenly. It's definitely usable. The beach ones, I would have liked to have some diffusion on Chris to not have such harsh shadows, but maybe that's a different video. So for this one, we're dealing with...
If you're going on to Medicare soon and you're wrestling back and forth if you should stick with your employer plan or go on to Medicare, well, you're going to benefit from our Medicare 101 handbook.
Okay, so what I do to kind of start and lay everything out for myself is duplicate the sequence into the sequences that I know are going to be formatted properly. I have to do some labeling, that way I know that one sequence is 16 by 9, this next sequence is going to be vertical, and this last one is going to be square. And I just specify that here. Cool. So when I open them up, I work in these chunks of 3s. I just know that I'm working on all the same take and that everything kind of stays pretty organized. For vertical formatting, it's 1080 by 1920 for HD vertical formatting. I'll take this right off the bat. I know that this was shot in 4K and in a 1080 format. I don't know if you can tell, but I had to rotate this a 1 degree negatively to straighten Chris out. I didn't shoot it perfectly even, but that's okay. And I know that scaled at 90, 4K video scaled at 90 for this vertical format will make it fit nicely. He's framed pretty center. I might have to move him over sometimes, but that's okay. Next, the regular 16 by 9 YouTube format is not going to have captions, but it will have the assets in it. So what I do is I'll just take the assets that I've already input here, nothing crazy, just some images I put in, and I'll just line them up.
Medicare soon and you're wrestling back and forth if you should stick with your employer plan or go on to Medicare, well, you're going to benefit from our...
So I know he's about to say handbook and pre-recorded.
Benefit from our Medicare 101 handbook and our pre-recorded Medicare 101 presentation. Both are going to cover parts A, B, C, and D of Medicare, your plan options this year.
So I know that that lined up pretty good. This one is not going to have captions. Hold on, I need to plug my computer in. This one's not going to have captions, but the other versions will. Again, that just kind of comes down to the variation that you want for these videos, and that's just how we decided to do these. It might change. Maybe we'll do vertical caption, no caption. For now, I'm just doing no captions, captions here, captions here. Cool. So the assets are in here. Like I said, we're not doing much coloring. I can maybe come over to the color window here and change it a bit. I always save my project prior from moving to editing and color because Adobe is notoriously known for crashing, and it always seems to be when I switch from color to editing. So I don't know if everyone has that problem, but maybe keep an eye out for that. Okay, so I've already adjusted this a little bit. Like I said, this isn't a crazy in-depth coloring thing that needs to happen. It looks pretty fine. It's pretty natural. Maybe I'll throw a LUT in here. Try not to use these too crazy. I don't know. It looks okay, but it doesn't need to be overdone. Honestly, that LUT was kind of not the move. I don't think so. All good. I don't know. It's a little flat. It's a little bare, but like I said, this doesn't need to be overly edited. Turnaround has to be pretty quick for these, so don't want to take too much time. Cool, it didn't crash when I switched over to editing. So now we're in the vertical one. If you know or don't know how to make captions for all of the internet on Instagram and TikTok that uses captions, I guess this will be a super basic caption tutorial. You hit the text control panel up here on whatever sequence you're on. Hit transcribe. All of these scripts are pretty short. This is what, maybe 20 seconds or something. Adobe will create a transcript for you, and that's what it's going to use to make the captions. Now, if you know you're going to do this a bunch of times, you can load up a preset for the text, so you're going to use the same one every time. So here's the transcript, super easy. Click captions here and create captions, and now the preset that I have is Real Style 2. That's just the name I used. These numbers here, I honestly just click and crank them down to whatever they were at, just down to the left end here. I honestly don't even really pay attention to that too much. Create the captions. So now on the left here, you can see with timestamps where all of the captions are going to be. And per the internet and how it all seems to look, there is no punctuation in anything. Take out commas, take out periods. I guess no one really pays attention to that. This one is ABCD. I'm going to leave those in. And you can go through here and just make any adjustments to the text. I'm double clicking these here. What I seem to typically have to do for these is just change, oh no, this one said, I normally have to say, or change this to 101 handbook. It usually says 1-on-1 handbook. I know that, like I said, because I've done a ton of these. So this is how it uploads. I typically, this is the editor on the right hand side for your text and everything. I will highlight everything, italicize and capitalize everything. Now I know for Reels, I crank this down to 70 and I move this down, move the text down a little bit. You can put a frame or a border on here to know that on Instagram or TikTok you have all this information at the bottom and right hand of the screen that you don't want to cover the text. I kind of eyeball it. You do it enough times, you kind of see where things are going to lay, and then you kind of run through it. I'm just going to go through this fast. I saw a comma in there somewhere. I think I might be tripping. Okay. And this is an hour, so maybe I'll speed this section up. Cool. So nothing crazy, nothing too intense. The captions are they go by relatively quick. I mean, these are 20-second videos. If you have to do a minute, 2 minutes longer videos, then captions can get pretty tedious. And So the same way I put these assets into this one, I'm gonna do that for this one and just open a previous version, same vertical format, and throw it into this one.
Going to Medicare, well, you're gonna benefit from
And right when he says Medicare Handbook,
our Medicare 101 handbook and our pre-recorded Medicare 101 presentation. Both are going to cover parts A, B, C, and D of Medicare, your plan options this year, and some of the changes that happen to the system. So click the Learn More button and claim your free resources today.
Cool. Good enough. And whatever changes that may need to come later, send it to the team, they look it over. If they want me to add stuff, change stuff, do whatever, that's when I do all that. This all needs to be relatively simple and quick. So this magenta colored thing is music. I'm just gonna add that to all of these. And yeah, when I do captions for this vertical version, it's easy enough to highlight all of them. I'm on a Mac, so it's Command C, copy them, and paste them to this square version. And they will be pretty much identical to the other format. I will shrink it down a little bit more. They don't need to take up too much of the screen. Sorry if you heard my burp. And for this one, same thing. I will open up the square format of this other version, copy those,
You're going to benefit
and toss them right there.
Benefit from our Medicare 101 handbook and our pre-recorded Medicare.
I might increase the size of it. So yeah, it's nothing crazy. What I do want to do, maybe just for the sake of this video and just because we use it sometimes, for efficiency's sake, I want to clean up this audio. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. That can be another video. If you want to see me clean up audio in a super easy way, let me know. Sorry. Yeah. So that's essentially that. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too complicated. And that is a good chunk of what I do for work. So, if you like that, if you found it interesting or educational or anything like that, like, subscribe, check out my other stuff. It's mostly photos. I want to do another video right now reviewing an old camera that I have. So, yeah, check that out. And see you on the next one.